And the countdown reaches 0. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday. I had to kind of think from what day of the week it is. Thursday edition of Monarchs Mocha, and we have been a bit of a wonky schedule. We'll talk about that next. Let's roll the open. How about that? Let's talk some Monarchs baseball here in 3, 2, 1. Ah, yes. Yeah, the social media show that started all, the American Association, all right, well, one of them. It's basically what we've been doing here for, since forever, often duplicated, never imitated completely. It's Monarchs Mocha, of course, Rain Reborn and Monarchs Live, all the little things we do right here, little bells and whistles we do. Nick's behind me. He's at a different angle today, but he can see him. He was so busy yesterday. This is no lie. Yesterday he was so busy. I walked up here after taping the top step with Joe, and there was smoke coming out of his computer. He was so busy slinging tickets. We had to call the fire department. That's no lie.
It really happened.
It really happened, folks. We had to call the fire department because he was smoking the place out. What you're doing, you're slinging tickets right? That's what you do. Glad you guys are along. This will be quick, a little late. First off, there's Whataburger traffic, which means if you're trying to get to Chick-fil-A, you're just SOL. It's like, I seriously got to send a picture home to friends and family in the Lone Star State because they're not going to believe what we saw. What I saw yesterday was that there was a flashing sign that said Whataburger traffic ahead. I'm like, there's a saying down south that don't California my Texas. Well, it looks like Patrick Mahomes is texting his Kansas and Missouri and the area for that matter. All that's left is Buc-ee's. You get Buc-ee's up here, we're in trouble, right? I mean, might as well start, wearing Stetsons and two-stepping, I guess. Anyway, glad you guys are along. Great night of baseball last night. There's really two themes I want to get to. I'm going to play a couple highlights. Let me move this over a little bit because I'm a little off kilter here. I don't have the entire highlight reel, the good news highlights, which I'm not sure why. I've only got home runs of Matt Adams, which is fine, but I got to get to the bottom of what happened there. But anyway, I will show you what we had on Instagram a few minutes ago, and I'll tell you a story behind that in a moment. I'll also take your questions and comments. But the theme that I really want to bring the audio down just a tad here. There's a theme that's kind of been going on this week. Joe Capietra mentioned to us on Sunday, the top step there at Lake Country, and he's talked about this before, the off days mean so much more when you get a win of a series, right? Sweep a series, win a series. In this case, you had 2 off days staring at you in the face, which you don't have those unless there's an all-star break. It's very rare just to have a random back-to-back. You'll have an off day, but you don't have back-to-back. And basically a mini all-star break for the guys. A lot of guys able to do their thing and really get away for a couple of days. The hazard of that, and Joe was talking about, is you go in on a loss and you got to and then you come out of the break and you're still kind of, not really fine-tuned, and you it can be a situation where, because your irons are hot. I mean, you had played really well. You'd won that 7 in a row. You lost the one game there in Lake Country, then came back and won again. So you're looking at 8 of 9, 9 of 10. And, anything, when the iron's hot, you want to keep that momentum going. Point number one, the club survived the off day. They're in Lake Country, the 2 off days, by coming out last night. And that's huge because behind it is a big series with Chicago. And not so much in the standings, although obviously want to keep winning. But you're playing a team that is sort of measuring stick, who has the same record as you, who a lot of folks believe will be the chalk in the East Division, who played very well, and you've also beaten them once before in a series here. And so it's a real early measuring stick. And we talk about this on the broadcast. are all these little measuring sticks along the way. I think this 2-game series is Winnipeg's a measuring stick. You can win tonight, win a short 2-gamer against a team that's going to be seeing a lot of you in August. That's a 2-game upper hand that you have going into that stretch in August. It's kind of like knowing you've already got Sioux Falls 3 in the bank, Lincoln 3 in the bank, all that. So those are my themes. I'm thinking through that at the moment where this thing sits. And again, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because tomorrow's tomorrow. We want to get through the day first. But I think the theme has been really good here, that the ball club passing some tests that, and really you look back on the schedule. When I sat through here, I was watching Savannah Banana game that Friday night, the first one. I was sitting here putting the schedule up on my wall over here, and I was looking at it kind of going, well, you'd like to win as many of those home games as you could. Check. You'd like to split that 4-game series in Gary or win it. Check. Lake Country, first trip there. Like to win the road series. Check. I mean, you've checked a lot of boxes here because you've done some things, and then you look up at 2 weeks ago, really, 2 weeks ago tomorrow, this team had 13 home runs. And now with those 4 last night, Kansas City sitting at 47 home runs, which, by the way, we unearthed this stat last night. If you extrapolate that out, the Monarchs are on pace for around 200 home runs for the season. Isn't it crazy? Last year's club hit 143. That's an association record. The franchise record's 162 in the Northern League in 2010. And this thing right now, as of last night, was on pace for 195 home runs. 4 more last night, you're on a pace for 199.9 home runs. You're going into last night, you're hitting 1.9 home runs. So I look back at that one night sitting here watching the Bananas going, what will this thing look like circa June 8th, 6th, whatever? And what's last season's record? Yeah, last season. And that's another thing. That's kind of, I guess I kind of didn't mention that either. It was in the game notes yesterday, but Hope, last year the Monarchs, at this very time, it's a very good question. After 22 ball games last year, they were 12-10. They were 15-7 after 22 going to last night. Quite a crew. Quite a crew is no doubt about it. Last year's team set a franchise record in wins. Let's just pull up a couple of those numbers from last year because I really thought there's no way these would play again. And I even said to Jackson last night on the air, there's a real good chance this team's better, but doesn't win as many games because the Apollos, who were really, gave you 11 of those wins, you're going to replace them with Fargo and Winnipeg. But so far, the Monarchs have been up to the challenge. Last year, Kansas City, 69-31. I mean, you're on pace for a 70-win season, 72-3. You're 5 games ahead of last year's pace. It's pretty impressive. Very impressive. Hey, Tim, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well out there. I mean, and again, I told Joe this several times. I'm asking this several times in the top step. Were we crazy to sleep on the pitching staff? Because the headlines of the offense, and remember the offense got off to a slow start, but now we're seeing the offense trajectory higher than last year's offense, which was ridiculous. And I think, like I told Jackson last night, we talked about this. I think Lincoln got a wake-up call. I think Lake Country got a wake-up call. I think a win tonight, Winnipeg will get a wake-up call. That this is a different beast here with the Monarchs than just about anybody else in the association, for the exception of Fargo, who I think lines up well, and we'll find out Chicago this weekend. It's a different, and it's a considerable drop off from those 3 down. A considerable drop off. I mean, we saw Lake Country and Gary. They just don't have the offense to compete on a nightly basis with Fargo, Chicago, and Kansas City. They got the pitching to keep up, but their offense and their bullpen, not nearly what stacked to what those 2 bullpens are, and really Chicago's pen too. What you forget too, going into last night, Kansas City, tail the tape, led the association ERA at a 3.31. Remember last night, 3 of those runs, only 2 which were earned. So there's that. 227 strikeouts, by the way. That led the league going along. These are all last nights. We're working on today's numbers now, crunching those as we go along. And one more little thing about this club that I think is interesting. The defense is really good. 13 errors, that's second in the association, second fewest. And for a team, and this is what I think is a real key we don't talk about enough. For a team that has a lot of versatile guys who play multiple positions, sometimes multiple positions means you're good at all of them and not really good at every one of them. That's not the case with this club. They're really good at all of them. I think it starts at the middle. I think you're seeing a really dynamite duo behind the dish of Almeida and J.C. Escada. Very solid right there. Pete Cosma and Darnell Sweeney up the middle have been just fantastic. That's a big league shortstop. In center field, Willie Abreu and when Joel Booker's been out there, both have been phenomenal. Everything else around them just sort of gravitates defensively. I think David Thompson's been great over at third. We know what Casey Gillespie can do. He has the best footwork of any first baseman in this league that any league I've seen. I mean, that's the thing. So there's a lot of things going on here. I'd like to hear from you guys, and I'll get you the highlights from last night here in just a second. Are we sleeping on the pitching staff? Are we making too much of the offense? But with a team that really does do it all, are we going wrong anywhere there? I mean, is it really that big of a deal to kind of sleep on one or the other? You forget that last night, Lewis Thorpe went 5 2/3. He was outstanding. I mean, guy was spot on with the strikes, all his pitches for strikes, command of the strike zone, and command of his pitches. And he could throw anything, anytime he wanted to, and that's huge. And are we sleeping on this ball club? Blackham comes in last night. He's phenomenal. Brendan Coach has been good. Saw Jamison McGrand in a JMO spot last night. He was 1, 2, 3. How you like me now? I mean, this thing's really, really good. And I would usually tap expectations. It's a long season, but good grief. I mean, and I don't know if this team's really gotten much in the way of, praise in the back. I think a lot of folks still think that that this club is not as good as last year's club, and I think they're every bit. Let's see here what I got there. Seats to first base line was such fun to watch. Such action right in front of us. Yes, Gillespie is good. Casey has got great footwork, and I think that people forget. And we saw this other night. Who was playing over there? Was Sioux Falls. Shimoy Christopher. When he playing first base the other night for them, he's usually a catcher. He's trying to play first. And his footwork, you could tell at one point there was an infield single that really, if he could find the base and get his footwork down, he probably makes the play. It was almost like he was blindly trying to find the bag. Yeah, this thing's really exciting. And you folks should be telling folks and getting out. And of course, folks I'm talking to are always here. But very exciting. I'm excited for this weekend, but I'm also excited for tonight because I think, again, what I love about this American Association, because the season's 100 games, every series is a test for a different reason. And for example, this Chicago trip's a test. This road trip's a test. 6 games in 7 days, 2-city tour. First time you've done that. You're also returning to Sioux City, to the only team that really gave you fits early. There's that. How does this team come out of the road trip with a winning road trip? That'd be huge. If you're tearing off 2 weeks of the calendar and moving yourself back to a homestand, you got a lot of a lot of road games to make up still. They got to catch up. Coming in today, the Monarchs have only played the 7 road games, have played 17 home games. That'll balance out. But anyway, all right, let's roll some good news highlights. So not really good news. I didn't really edit them, but let's bring this down real quickly here. Let me give you what I got. Let me screen share this real quickly here because I'm going to play this from Instagram. Sorry about that because I just have to. Let's see here. There we go. Hold on just a second here. Oh, sorry. All righty. Let me give this to you folks last night. This is last night's couple home runs here. Let me get this on the screen for you. There we go. And there's a story behind this, and I will share it in a moment. But let me go ahead and play this for you. This is last night. This is the Adams Show, no doubt about it. This is the Adams Show all the way. Let's play it for you in 3, 2, 1.
1-0. Line out to a right center field. That's pretty well hit. At the track, reaching up. That ball's gone. High out to a right field. Drifting back at the warning track. At the wall. Gone. Ticket Smarter again.
Now you hear me say Ticket Smarter again there. Let me bring that back down here.
At the track.
Let me bring that down there. You hear me reference Ticket Smarter again. There's a funny story on that. Now, yesterday, we were chatting, and one of our sponsors, Ticket Smarter, Mike Beamers, our VP of Sales, phenomenal guy, great experience in the business, sports marketing. He was talking about needing some highlight video of, if we could find it, of someone in front of it. Because you like, as a sales guy, you like to have, if I'm Dan Lynch at Lynch Real Estate, I'd love to see, John Hernandez hit one over my sign, right? And you want to come out the ballpark and see folks hit one over your home run sign or whatever, or your outfield sign, because everybody's looking at it, right? It's a big deal. When we're talking, we saw that John Hernandez had a great play, but it was kind of off side camera wise. It didn't have a real good view of Ticket Smarter, pardon me. And I said, well, let's go back to the archives. Let's see if we can find. I think we had a couple home runs close. We can probably find something. Lo and behold, last night, Matt Adams does it not once, but twice in the Ticket Smarter area, over the sign once and above the sign once. And that's why I referenced Ticket Smarter a couple of times, because I was blown away. We couldn't have drawn it up any better for our sponsor. It's like somebody just said, hey, Matt, what I want you to do tonight is, would you please hit 2 home runs over the Ticket Smarter sign for us? Yeah, thanks, man. You bet. I mean, it's like on command last night. Adams did that last night, hitting one of the first inning, give the Monarchs that early lead, and then they added one in the 7th to put things away. And that's another thing. Don't make errors in front of Matt Adams, because he'll make you pay. That's what happened last night. Jim saying, what's he got here? Jim is always going to see you, mate. Should be a great night for baseball. Go Monarchs. Amen to that, my friend. I agree with you. And last night was beautiful. You know what? Chicago's going to be beautiful this weekend, too. I just got the weather because my youngest is watching the dog. Max didn't make the trip this week. And it's not going to be 101 in the DFW, but here it's like a crisp, 80 degrees. It's what me worry. Very, very spring breakish, right? Sleeves at night, shorts in the daytime, short sleeves in the daytime. But yeah, that's a true story. Last night we delivered, and it's almost like tonight. Okay, Matt, what I need from you tonight is I need you to go to Swope Health Sign, and I want you to hit the P behind it in the bullpen. Or John Hernandez, I want you to hit the Ford in the Midwest Ford dealers behind the wall out there. Can you do that for us? And do it at least twice, because we want to get 2 shots of it. Exactly what happened last night. No, it didn't happen that way. But by the way, big thanks to it was the first pitch hitting last night. Yes, it was. And the home run for Thompson was as a matter of fact, Thompson's home run, Hope, was, I came back from the break, pitch number 51 from Lucas, and it's, as I said that, poink, see you later. I remember saying that vividly last night. So, yes. Something special. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Mackenzie Nelson there at 41 did a phenomenal piece on Matt Adams and company, but especially on Matt. Really good piece. She's does a great job at 41, and they've done a really good job covering us. Thank you very much, Channel 41. Thank you, Mackenzie, and others down there. They've done a great job there, Mick and everybody. Do a great job. Hey, you're seeing a little bit too, and I don't mean to be this snarky like that, but the Royals are scuffling, and we haven't quite started Chiefs camp yet. Oh, it's coming. There's a vacancy right there, and this is a good one for us. Good time for us, the media. Just curious here. Let me see if I can get this for you. Just curious what Gabby writes in the dirt when you know what? Jim, I'll find that out for you. I believe it's a family initial, but I don't know for sure. But I think that's what it is. It also might be, I'm speculating, but family initial or cross, but I maybe both. I'll ask him. I've never really thought about it, but I will find out for sure. We'll find that out for you. But yeah, it's a good question. Gabby doing Gabby things. And that's another thing. You know, perhaps at Sioux City, Gabby is batting fourth or fifth and asked to carry the weight offensively. Here, Gabby Slags on third hole last night. He's on base 3 times out of 4 trips to the plate. He scores 2 of those 4. You know, where and we talked about it last night, infield single and a solid single to right, rather than trying to hit the ball in the ballpark, gets on for his mates in front of him. And in both cases, boink, home runs. All righty. That leads us to the tail end of the program as I wrap my coffee up here. Monarchs Mocha brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company. 6 locations in Kansas City. You can, they'll teach you to do your own. So I should probably have like a Roastery logo there, but there you go. They'll teach you how to brew your own. The ultimate coffee experience, and to me, as a coffee snob, they do it right. They do it right. I mean, they get it all starts with the beans. Whether you do a capsule on the go or you're doing something as good as a roastery, you got to have good beans. It starts there. Source the best ones, and it's an art. It's like if winemaking's an art, coffee making's an art. And we were watching Better Call Saul last night, and the way making coffee was kind of funny. And one of the characters made a nice latte, and the wife dumped it in a to-go cup, and he was kind of like, well, "Why'd you just do that for?" It's an art. It is an art. And what they do there's 6 locations throughout the metro is provide the ultimate coffee experience, best beans, source it, produce it for you the way you want it, whether it be an Americano. We talked about a latte, flat. I like flat whites, or whatever it is you want to mix in it. Almond milk, soy milk, milk, whatever. You got it. They do it efficiently, fast for you. 6 locations throughout Kansas City since 1993. Of course, you can go down to the Southwest and see the plane and pull the drive-through. That's where everybody loves to go do, but all over. 6 locations in KC, the Roastery Coffee Company, official coffee company, the Monarchs. And I got to get down there next week. We get back, try to see if I can get some of that raspberry cold brew they had last summer. You got to the point of ration that stuff for like 3 weeks back when I got back to Texas in the off season because I loved it. It's still warm down there. It's still iced coffee time in October. All right, last call for questions and comments. Again, tonight, 6:30 airtime on the Monarchs Broadcast Network. That will be our airtime on American Association AABaseball.tv for the video side, and also on the radio side, MixLR, and that's get that up to you as well. By the way, go a couple of things I want you to check out. And yesterday was the Variety KC all-inclusive playground unveiling yesterday, right? And really cool deal. Jackson did a great video, and it's on social right now. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up for you. Is it on Facebook? I believe it is. I think it is. I feel like it is. Well, maybe not. I swear I thought it was, but Jackson did a great job. Lost you for a moment. There we go. We're back. Yeah, I will tell Nick you said hi. Sorry about that. I lost it. Yeah, raspberry cold brew. It sounds sort of like meh. It's in it, but if you get it really cold and it's in a can, it's really, really good. I mean, it's really, really good. And they had it last summer, and I had it stored. I had boxes of it back in my car. Anyway, yeah, it's good stuff. All right, broadcast time tonight, 6:30. Again, you want to catch the broadcast if you can't make it out. We want you out tonight. It's Thirsty Thursday. That drink special, the draft's going until 8:30. Gates will swing at 6 o'clock. Tickets at monarchsbaseball.com. And again, Thirsty Thursday returns tonight to the ballpark. You should be here. monarchsbaseball.com. Then tomorrow night from there at O'Hare with the Chicago Dogs. We'll talk more about that tonight in the broadcast. Tonight, we will dive in more into this date in Monarchs history. We had some real good, interesting stuff. We talked last night about a doubleheader because Indianapolis Clowns in 1941. We also talked about Booker McDaniel, the guy who had a really solid relief career with the Monarchs in the 1940s. You'll never know what we're going to unearth tonight, but we always unearth something. Robert says, let's see here. Thank you for the great broadcasting, watching every game from Texas. Thank you, Robert. And I like to claim that I'm bringing Whataburger here. I tell people that I am, but it's actually Mahomes bringing it. But we're both trying to bring a little Texas to Kansas City. Patrick and I are. Thank you for the kind words, Jim. And I would guess that I can bring this down here. Sorry about that. There we go. Thank you for the kind words. We appreciate it. We're glad you're watching along too. Again, A Baseball TV, $14.99. It did work last week. We were in Lake Country. The audio did work, and I'd encourage you folks to join us on the road this weekend. And let's see if we can outdraw the home team. I think we can. We can. I mean, online, that is, not in the ballpark because they're going to be at the ballpark themselves, but you get the point, right? All right, airtime 6:30 tonight. And we will get rocking and rolling again. I hope you'll check out the broadcast. And again, Jackson did some fine work last night. And again, let me see if I can find that one more time. I'm kind of all over the place, aren't I? Let's see here. Oh, there's a great feature on channel. What was it? It was KCWE, but yeah. Jackson was great. Let me see if I can find it here. And a great piece that Morgan posted. It was Jackson. Like I said, I kind of thrust it on him. I said, "You got to, let's go do it." And he did a great job. He and Adam Cook, who is our My Media team videographer. Here we go. Here it's actually up on. I'm gonna give you the link right now. So let me give you guys the link. And this way you guys can go check. I encourage you to go check this out, okay? So let me give you the link. Go check this out when we're done. I'll put in the chat here. And go check it out. And what I'll do is on Mondays, or it won't be Monday. We'll see. We have a show tomorrow. I don't know. We leave tonight at 2 a.m. And is it coming up in the chat? Did you guys see that? Let me see if I do it here. Here we go. We put it in here on the screen for you guys. There you go. Right there. There you go. Check that out right there. That's the go to that Twitter site right there and check out the video that was done by Jackson on the all-inclusive playground. What a great experience. I'll go in more detail about that hopefully next week when I can sort of keep my wits about me. I probably won't be able to keep my wits. It was emotional. To see those kids getting a chance to play on a playground they can actually play on. And I think we take that for granted. My girls can, when they were that age, could go play on a playground and have no dramas. There was no way they were going to have their wheels get stuck or whatever. Well, you don't think about that. Young kids that are in wheelchairs, they want to play like everybody else, but when they got the mulch out, they can't get to the gravel. That's not playable. And Variety KC and the Monarchs have done something very cool. And I mentioned this in the broadcast last night, and I don't have a video of it, but I saw it with my own eyes, and I'll share it with you. Jamison McGrain grabbed the ball, and he walked over to this young man. The young man is wheelchair bound, and don't believe he can speak, is he uses a tablet to speak. He made a great speech of thanking the Monarchs and Variety KC, and he was just, and he had his sunglasses on. He was just so radiant and excited to be there, but he can't communicate unless it's via the tablet. He's, chair ridden, but he's able to play now at a playground. And to see his eyes light up when Jamison McGrain brought him that baseball, and J-Mo made sure, he's like, you know what, I got a baseball. Who wants? Oh, there he is. And to see our guys go over out there and do that, it puts a lot of things in perspective. First place doesn't suddenly mean as much. Winning and losing doesn't mean as much. The frustrations that I have on a daily basis don't hurt as much. Remember walking out, I was telling Mark Brandmeyer, our owner, I said, this means a lot. And to see kids who normally can't play on a playground, to see their face light up and see what they saw yesterday does my heart good. And there's a lot of really crap in the world, but there's good stuff too. We need to celebrate the good stuff, and we got to be pretty proud of what we're doing. And that right there is the good stuff. That's the good stuff. That all the bad news, that's the good news. And just so proud of the ball club and for our guys and for the organization being a part of that and seeing what Jackson did. So I encourage you to check out the video, what Jackson did, and also the different posts we had as well. A really cool deal. You don't realize how important it is to show love and do things for other people. And when you see those kids, I forget about it. I talk about it all the time. Even I forget about it. But I see that kid's face light up. Wow. You missed a great playground, Keith. We have a really cool playground. It's all-inclusive. It's the first one of its kind. It's a really cool playground, and it's you can all access. For kids in wheelchairs, for kids who can't get around, any disabilities, and everybody can play. Everyone can play together. And isn't that what it's all about in the end? And loving each other and playing together and being together. And isn't what baseball is supposed to be about? We can all root for our team, and we can high five each other no matter what side of town we live on, or who our favorite player is, or what our favorite ballpark snack is. Right? We can all be together. Say it every time. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's keep doing that. And that right there is being better. One more thing. Tomorrow, again, we leave at 2:00 tonight, headed to Chicago. I don't know what it'll be like tomorrow. Now, hopefully it'll be like Friday, where I rallied through it, was able to do a show for you. But there's always a chance that the ride's rough and I don't get a show. So I'm crossing my fingers. And then Monday's an off day. We've not been doing shows on off days. And then thank you very much. Very kind of my wife to say that. She's much too kind. Although she and I navigated the traffic a minute ago. Love you too, babe. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from Sioux City. I'd like to get out in Sioux City a little bit more, and hope we can do that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll be able to get out and do the show. But I hope to do one in Chicago tomorrow, if I'm able to stand up and not be I'm awake. Last week when we got to Lake Country, I fought through it, but I can't say with conviction I'll do it. Good afternoon, Sean. Yes, there was a fire at Legends Field. Nick was typing so hard that he smoked the keyboard. No, we had a little issue yesterday afternoon. Still some wiring thing, and all good. We were all good by game time, so we're all good. So we all should be fine. But yes, Sean, we all survived, and it was just actually it wasn't even fire, just smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire in this case, but in this case there was, you know what I'm saying. All right. Go Monarchs. You guys ready? The 1, 2, 3 go Monarchs. Hoping to get a show tomorrow, hopefully. Maybe so jumping on caffeine tomorrow. I may not be able to. That was last Friday at Lake Country. The wind was blowing that little main street there in where we were at, Waukesha or something. Anyway. All right. 1, 2, 3 go Monarchs, and I'll see you in the broadcast. How about that? Here we go. 1, 2, 3 go Monarchs. I'll see y'all on the broadcast tonight. Let's play the close here. Here we go. Promise. Why is it not playing? Come on, play for me, play for me, play for me, play for me. There we go. Try it again, Vaughn. I swear. What's it doing? Play. Play. Oh, well. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why it's not playing anyway. See you guys tonight at the broadcast. Go Monarchs. Yes, gotta love technology, Sean.